Let's get it, team vintage. We're hitting two benchmarks today, starting with a 8-rep max back squat. It's more than 5, it's less than 10, it's gonna be heavy. Then classic CrossFit girl workout, Angie. 100 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats. Let's do this. Happy Friday. We are gonna hit a couple benchmarks today. Strength benchmark, back squat 8-rep max, and conditioning benchmark or gymnastics benchmark, Angie. For our warm-up, we're going 2 to 3 rounds. Let's start with a minute of cardio. That could be burpees, that could be jump ropes, that could be a 200-meter jog, that could be row or bike. 1 minute of cardio. After that, we're gonna go 10 1 1/4 goblet squats. So grab a kettlebell or dumbbell. We're gonna hold that in front of the chest in the goblet position. We're gonna descend below parallel, then bounce just above parallel, back down, and then stand. This is our 1 1/4 goblet squat. Make sure you're keeping that core engaged. We don't want the lower back softening or rounding at the bottom of these reps. So 10 reps, 1 1/4. Then move over to a set of rings. We're gonna go single arm ring rows with a tempo. We're going up for 2 seconds and down for 2 seconds. So I like to have my feet a little wider than the shoulders for balance. Down for 2, 1, 2, and up for 2, 1, 2. So a little bit slower than normal, nice and controlled. We're going 8 on each side here. Then finally, we'll come down to the floor into the bear plank. In the bear plank, we're on our hands and the feet are on the ground, the knees are off the ground. We're going 20 shoulder taps, keeping the knees close to the floor. Notice there's very minimal movement of the hips or midline. We're trying not to, trying not to shift. So 20 controlled bear plank shoulder taps. For our strength benchmark, we're gonna have 10 minutes to build up to a 8-rep max back squat. If you know your 1-rep max, let's try to get to 70% or higher today. Ideally, maybe 75 to 80%. This is gonna be heavy and it's gonna take a while, so make sure you are breathing. The first few reps probably will feel pretty good, and the later reps might not. So Carly squeezes that bar with her hands. That helps brace the upper back and shoulders. Takes in a deep breath, pushes the hips back, and then sits the hips down, letting them pass below the knees before standing. So we're going for an 8-rep max. We're gonna finish out today with one of CrossFit's classic benchmark workouts, all body weight. We are going to do Angie. We're gonna place a 25-minute cap on this workout, so make sure you choose one of the appropriate scaling options for volume, especially on the pull-ups and push-ups. I know a lot of people can get through this volume, just kind of going 1 rep at a time or 2 reps at a time, but that's not the idea. We want to keep the intensity relatively high. So let's try to find a number of pull-ups that we can complete in about 6 minutes or less. Same thing for the push-ups, and then the sit-ups and air squats will be pretty quick. Okay, pull-ups. If you have kipping pull-ups, feel free to knock those out. Arms extended at the bottom, chin above the bar at the top. Go for that regular kip or butterfly kip. If you are going with strict pull-ups, totally okay, but cut down on the volume. Probably 50 strict will be appropriate for this workout. Next, we're going for push-ups. Quality over speed on these, guys. We want to keep a straight plank throughout the body. We're trying to touch the chest to the ground at the bottom of each rep to really work on that full range of motion of the shoulder and elbow, and keep the thighs off the floor. We don't want to have the hips sagging down, trying to avoid worming up out of the bottom. Feel free to scale these in volume or go down to your knees for knee push-ups. Still trying to keep the body in a straight plank from the knees to the shoulders, okay? Again, feel free to cut back the volume on those reps. Okay, next, flip over. We're going sit-ups. This is where the workout really speeds up. Try to go for 100 reps as unbroken as possible. Minimal rest, fast speed. At the top, make sure the shoulders are stacked above the hips. We want to go all the way into the seated position. After we are, these are no reps. Carly, show somewhere you touch your toes but don't really sit up. No, those are okay. Like, bring your toes closer to you. Yeah, it's possible to like stay kind of hunched over and touch the toes without really even coming up right there. So full sit-ups, guys, all the way up. Okay, finally, stand up. Finish out with 100 air squats. These are gonna burn, guys, but I believe in you. You can stay moving, don't rest.
You're not gonna fail an air squat.
That's true, you will not fail an air squat. Hips below the knees at the bottom. Stand up, open the hips at the top. I really find it useful in a workout like this to use my arms. Carly was naturally bringing her arms forward as she squats and then back. I like to bring my hands behind the hips at the top of each rep to really emphasize that hip opening.